you, do you notice how that's planted in hills?
Yeah.
Last year, we planted this by hand. What I did, I used an organic fertilizer. It's really nice stuff. Beautiful stuff, in fact. You know, keep the barns clean, but not too clean, because I'll tell you why. In the barn, I found a cast iron set of hill plates, and I have an old planter that I really don't use anymore.
Yeah.
And it was made for plates. And I fooled around with the gears and the plates, and I got it to drop that corn in hills like that. Now, the Mandan's the most popular with most people.
That's beautiful.
This is Mandan. All right. Those rows are Oxygen green. There was 6 or 8 rows there. It is. This is, to me, this is one of the most fun things. Is what I'm doing by bringing back nearly extinct varieties. You know, I went to Plymouth Plantation 2 falls ago, and you know, well, have you been to Plymouth Plantation?
Yeah,
okay,
all the time as a kid.
Okay, but now you probably never saw the Horticultural Center. It's the brains of the operation because they're doing more interesting things there than a lot of people realize. They're specializing in original varieties, whether it be crops or animals.
Really?
Well, what I told them what we're doing out here with the heirloom varieties and all of that. And the lady was so nice. She got interested in everything I had to say on our projects. She gave me 2 ears of corn. And she said, this is the corn that the Native Americans grew here when the Pilgrims arrived. And what they did, Plymouth Plantation worked with Waltham, UMass Waltham, and they took descendant stock and bred backwards, and I'm not exactly sure how you do that, but they bred backwards to come up with the original, and this is what they came up with.
Wow.
And it's a long, narrow ear with only 8 rows of kernels. And what was really interesting, she brought out a little bag with corn cobs in it, and she told me that some people in the area were renovating a house that was built in 1670, and that they discovered in the outside walls corn cobs were put for insulation, filling the walls. And so
That's
this
amazing.
this is it.
It seriously is.
Sure, and it's very good eating. All the corn I'm growing is very good eating. I really like this. It made wonderful grits. The Mandan makes a fantastic flour for muffins or pancakes. We make pancake mix with it, but it's great for meal and grits and all that kind of stuff. So the original Johnny cake would have been made with this type of corn. I want you to see this setup. You got to see this cultivation setup that he's going to come to a post. And so, see what he can do.
Overall, the stand looks pretty good.
These are the black turtle.
Yeah.
Finer seed.
Okay, right. So it's seeded a little more heavily.
The old plate planter for this with a different plate.
Right.
Not hill, but drill plates.
Yep.
And this was dropping out a lot faster because of the
size of the
tiny
seed.
seeds.
Yeah. Yep.
And it looks pretty good. Got that wider space between blocks.
Right. Yep. So this is
presumably he can line up and take this block without overlapping into either of the others and keep it from being mixed.
Yep. Right.
The Pinto also, they were a smaller seed, and they just float out nicely.
Yeah.
You know what I think?
Oh, beautiful.
Being that dense, they helped each other push through. This is Red Llamas. Red Llamas was grown by the Pilgrims in 1627, I believe, in Plymouth. And again, this is one of those seeds that Ellie over at UMass got a hold of, and I got 3 heads from her.
Yeah.
And I planted this
this whole block
strip from 3 heads of seed that I multiplied previously.
Yeah.
And it's again that 33 pound per acre seeding rate with clover.
Yeah.
To encourage tillering, so I get a lot of seed out of it.
Right.
I had 2 heads of seed given to me of this. And what they agreed up in Burlington was to call this a French Persian variety. And my guess is that when Napoleon conquered Egypt, he probably brought it back.
Yep.
And I believe this is the Rouge de Bordeaux. And Ellie brought him like a little, like there was a, you know, a little bouquet like this of
Right,
these,
right,
and showed it to
right.
him. And she wanted to call it Rouge de Bordeaux, and he said he kind of objected to calling it that. And he said, this is a Persian variety
Interesting.
from Persia. It originated there. And if you got the seed in France, well, okay, they're growing it there, so we called it French Persian.
Huh.
The water, rather than having the water gather in each connection here.
Right.
So I think in a wet year, you might avoid disease issues more by letting it drip off.